What's up everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm X and today we're gonna be talking about crafting and the Horadric Cube. What it is, how it works and all the amazing things you can do with it. But first make sure to drop a like, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment below. Now, if you're new to Diablo 2 Resurrected, you can find the cube in Act 2 inside the Halls of Death in Dry Hills. As you can see in the video, you just make your way down to level 3, find the magic chest and there you get your cube. Now, let's talk about crafting. To craft an item you will need 4 things: a magic item, a jewel, a specific rune and a specific gem. For example, let's craft a blood ring. This recipe requires a magic ring, a perfect ruby, a soul rune and a random jewel. Now, if you don't know where to find all these items, I would definitely recommend the Secret Cow level as a place to find both jewels, runes and magic items. Besides that, I would also recommend doing the countess because she has a fixed drop rate for runes, so she will always drop a rune. And I also recommend checking every chest you find on the way, because sometimes you can find a lot of jewels and gems in those chests, and sometimes if you're lucky enough you find a lot of magic items. If you're very unlucky with the magic items, I would recommend to go to some of the different vendors in the different acts and then just search for the magic item that you need. If you just exit the town and come back, then the items would update. For this example, we're going to try to make a faster cast rate amulet, and we are going to use the same recipe. So there will be a magic item, a magic jewel, a perfect amnesty and a rock rune. Now as you can see, the magic item and the jewel will always be the same when you're crafting, but the difference is the gem and the rune. Now I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can find these recipes whenever you need them. For the next one we are going to try crafting a blood belt. I'm going to do it twice so you can see the difference on the stats that you can get. After that I want to talk a little about what else you can do with a Horadric Cube. Stuff like crafting runes, crafting gems, you can also upgrade items, make socket items, we'll get into that pretty soon. Now as you can see, we're almost following the same recipe as when we did before. And the good thing about blood items is that they will always guarantee you a life lead, somewhere between 1 and 5. Now let's get into the runes. For the runes it's actually pretty simple. For the low runes you just need 3 of the same rune and then you can just craft it inside the cube. For the mid-tier rune is a little bit different because that's where you need some gems to help you. For the lowest one we're gonna use chip gems and then it's gonna get higher and higher. So floor gems, normal gems, flawless, and that's the way it goes. For the high runes it's a little bit different because everything from pull and up you just need 2 runes, not 3 like the low ones, as you can see in the picture here. As for the gems, it goes the same as the runes. You just need 3 of the same gems. It could be 3 chip gems, 3 flawed, 3 normal gems or 3 flawless. And then you just drop them into the cube and then you will get a higher gem. Of course it has to be the same gem, so if you take emerald it has to be 3 emerald, if you take ruby it has to be 3 ruby. And that way you can just keep on crafting. Now a good thing to use the perfect gems for is actually crafting grand charms. To craft a grand gem is pretty simple. You just take a grand charm and 3 random perfect gems, put them into the cube and then you just start transmuting it. I would also recommend that you find your grand charm at either Diablo or Bell Hell because those grand charms have a higher level, so that means you have a bigger chance of rolling a skill or charm. Sometimes you will be lucky and you will get a skill or charm right away, maybe a paladin or sorcerer skill, and other times you gotta just keep crafting and use a lot of gems. So I would recommend that you have a lot of gems before you begin on this process. Now you can also do this for the small charms and the large charms, but of course they cannot get a skill. So I would recommend, if you cannot find any charms, that's maybe a pretty good way to go, but in my own personal opinion I think it's a waste of gems. I'd rather use them on the big charms. But it's the same process, you just put a small charm, 3 perfect gems, and then you press transmute and you get a different charm. And you can do the same for the large charm as you can see here right now. Now for upgrading items, the recipes are a little different. It will differ depending on the item you're upgrading, and the stats will get better for you. I would also say be careful because an armor like this goes from a pretty good low level armor to a not so good high level armor because the level requirement and the strength requirements gets too high. but I am happy with the depth, so I would recommend that. And I will also leave a link in the description on how to do this. You can also use the cube to make item socket, and the recipe is gonna differ depending on which item you're using. I just did it with a shield now. That was pretty easy and helpful. Now, if you do put a gem inside your shield and you want to take it off, you can actually do that by taking a hell rune, a scroll of town portal, and just put them with the item in the cube, just as shown on the video up here. Now you can also socket a magic item by taking a magic item and putting 3 random chip gems inside it. Of course this depends on the level of the item, because the higher the level is, the better gems you're gonna use. But for this example I'm just gonna use 3 random gems, and you can see my sword gets some socket inside it. Last thing I want to show you is that you can take 3 random rings and put them inside the cube, and then you can craft them into an amulet. Look at that. 3 to martial arts and assassin only, and 21 for magic find. That's pretty good actually. Besides that, you can also do it with the amulets. You can take 3 random magic amulets and then you can craft them inside the cube. Now this won't work for rare amulets, so only work with magic. Thanks for watching. That was all for today. I hope I'll see you next time. Please hit a like and subscribe.